Are you interested in going to Special Forces assessment and selection? Are you ready to attend and actually pass selection, get selected, move on to the Q course so you can get to one of the operational groups? If there's any delay or any hint of hesitation in your answer, more than likely you're not. And this is why I come in, guys. If you check out the links below, I have a link to my Patreon, which has a variety of prep courses on there geared towards helping you prep so you could attend and get selected. It's a small price to pay to live a life of either fulfillment or a life of regret. All right? I'll see you guys over at the Patreon. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I was on a call with an individual earlier today, a mentorship call, which if you guys didn't know that I did those, I do try to get on the phone with young individuals that are trying to follow my path, and I share my lessons learned with them. So if you have any questions, whether it's military related or just overall life related, make sure you check out the website, Beret and book a call with me, and I'll be more than happy to jump on a call and then talk to you about whatever it is that you're trying to get answers to. Anyways, I was on a call earlier with an individual, and he talked about the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, and he just wanted to know what my experience were with them because he is interested in joining that entity. He is currently in college, and instead of joining the military, he wanted to join something like the FBI or the CIA. With all that in mind, I went ahead and I shared my experience with them, and I just wanted to jump on here and share my experience with you guys also, because I know where there's one, there's 10, and where there's 10, there's 100, where there's 100, there's 1,000, right? So somebody out there probably has the same question that this individual had. So for starters, guys, let's define the CIA. So the CIA is the premier intelligence agency for the United States of America. You have the NSA, who mainly focus on SIGINT, right? Signal intelligence. The agency focus mainly on human. So human intelligence, meaning going to a bar, picking up a chick and gathering information from her in that manner. That's what they specialize in, collecting intelligence from human beings. So quick, interesting history on the CIA. So back when the OSS was around, Colonel Aaron Banks served alongside Wild Bill Donovan. Once the war was over and the OSS was no longer needed, Colonel Aaron Banks went back to the Army and he created Green Berets. Wild Bill Donovan, who was also a OSS officer, got out and he created the CIA. So I always joke around that all the CIA is a civilian entity of what Green Berets are for the DoD. So what is their mission and how do they recruit? Their mission is to gather intelligence for the United States government, right? They do this mostly abroad. They do not have the authority to operate within the United States. If that's not the case, please let me know in the comment section below, guys. But last time I did some research, they could not operate within the United States. That is the FBI's job. And most of the intelligence that they gather, they get passed on to DoD units so they can go action them, right? So how do they recruit? The CIA recruit in a variety of different ways, right? Like you don't see CIA commercials on TV like you do for the Army or the Navy or the Marine Corps asking for people to come join, right? They have their own recruiting system that they use, and most of it is embedded within our educational system, right? Within the colleges. They have teachers that work for them that identify certain students that have potential, and that's a way that they recruit. They also have military folks that know about them, that's worked with them in the past. Once they retire, they gravitate towards that route. But if you are an individual, you know about it, and you're trying to go work for them, you can just reach out to them directly, fill out an application, go through their process, and you can get in the unit that way. Now, mind you, like everything else, you have to do your research. You can literally go to CIA.gov and learn about the unit, see what they do, see what their recruiting process is, and you can put in a packet together and send it over and then wait for them to reach out to you so you can actually go and work for that unit. So with all that said, guys, what has been my experience with those guys? So I've had the opportunity to work side by side, some of them, right? A couple of different times when I was running commandos downrange, whether it was at BAF or JAF. BAF is Bagram Jaffis, Jalalabad. We had our own little compound within that big military installation, and of course they had their own little compound within the big military installation also, right? We would go out, hit a target, conduct SSC, police up a bunch of intelligence. We would go back to our fob, all right, and then our individual that was responsible for identifying intelligence and analyzing it would do so, and then we would get together with their intelligence personnel and we would share the information that we got off the objective. And they would do the same thing with theirs, right? Because we shared some of that area of operation. They would go out on operation, get a bunch of intelligence, and then their intelligent folks would link up with our intelligence folk, and then we'll make sure that we all have the same intelligence that makes sense across the board, right? So that has been my experience with them guys as far as working side by side them, purely intelligence related. I never had a chance to work with their paramilitary branch. I've seen those dudes doing work downrange, but I've never worked with them directly. Funny story, as I was getting out of the military back in 2022, I was at that crossroad, right? I didn't know if I wanted to get out. I didn't know if I wanted to stay in. I was 19 years in, serving as a first sergeant. I didn't want to do the paperwork. So I was looking at different avenues to where I could keep on serving. And one of the avenues that I looked at was actually going towards the agency. I'm talking about I went on the website. I filled out all the paperwork. They sent me a packet. I started to fill it out. I was getting ready to send it in. And then again, I had to sit down and realize how selfish I was being by not prioritizing my family and by wanting to keep going, running and gunning, and then spending time with them whenever I got a chance, right? So really awesome entity. They're designed to do a certain job and they do it well. There's a host of information out there about who these guys are and what they do. There's a bunch of YouTubers out there doing the same thing, right? I didn't want to just read off a script as far as all the information that you can easily go on YouTube and Google yourself. I just wanted to share my experience with that particular unit, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to share anything about this unit, if you serve with them, or if you think guys should gravitate towards that route, let me know in the comment section below, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.